I like to think that Anime Abandon has grown and evolved over the nearly 6 years I've been doing this, especially when you consider how it all began. Through 160 episodes, all of which you can see on my personal website, shameless plug, Anime Abandon has become something not wholly recognizable from its inception. There would be no way in hell that I would talk about anime like Video Girl I in the way that I did back in 2011, nor would I bother making introspective and thoughtful episodes on titles like Memories or Fooly Cooly. Because, if I'm being honest, one of the main reasons why I created Anime Abandon, or at least the first reason that came to mind, was basically to shit on bad anime. As in vogue as it was to be the harsh, coprolalia-stricken internet critic back in the simple days of new media, when one had a cushion to fall back on in the form of a video sharing website that rhymes with flip, the reality is that that road leads to a dead end. There's just no room to grow for such a way to approach criticism, both in terms of professionalism and personal life. But that isn't to say that kind of methodology doesn't have its merits or its place. It was a lot of fun to rip on terrible media, and without that, a lot of us couldn't lay the groundwork into maturing into the critics that we are today. And it's with that thought in mind that I want to return to my roots. And I can't think of a better anime to do it than Cyber City. In the pantheon of infamous anime, Cyber City Oedo 808 belongs up there with the likes of Angel Cop, Mad Bull 34, and MD Geist. But unlike all those three, Cyber City strikes an odd balance between good and terrible, exciting and embarrassing, nostalgic and whatever the antonym is for nostalgia. Surprisingly, I have yet to talk about this anime on the show. Until now. And that's why for today, and today only, we're going to return to the days of gonzo-style internet reviewing. Let's make it happen, Cap'n! Lack of DVDs on the shelf? Horrible lighting and camera angle? No game? It's 2011, motherfuckers! Oh, the halcyon days of 2011. James Franco and Anne Hathaway both took a 3-day backed-up shit on the Oscar telecast. Kim Kardashian divorced Chris Humphries in less than 3 months. And for some reason, Charlie Sheen was obsessed with Tiger Blood. What a magical year of total and utter mediocrity. But enough catching up. Time for us to have some fun and rip on an anime that welcomes it. This is Cyber City Oedo 808. We hit the ground running with the premise of the anime shoved right in our faces in the first 2 minutes.
Gentlemen, the state is prepared to offer you a deal. You can elect to spend the rest of your days rotting in this space prison, or you can choose to work in the special service section of the police.
You mean we can stay here or do the high-risk jobs nobody else wants?
Yeah, what do we look like? Some kind of a Death Wish platoon? Looks like they accepted the offer, because it's only a heartbeat later, and we have No-Go 13 here hot on the pursuit of a criminal.
Now then, young man. It's far too late for a little lad like you to be out on his own. It's way past your bedtime, motherfucker. Oh, fuck you, pig!
As you can tell, the 90s dubbing is strong with this one. By now, we soon will be familiar with the trappings of the try-hard, edgy 90s dubs of Manga UK. That is to say, every character says fuck word after fuck word, to the point where they almost use it like punctuation. Now, what's interesting is that while Manga UK dubbed it, it wasn't Manga Entertainment that published it here in the States, but rather Central Park Media. Well, interesting to some people, I'm sure. Regardless, the salty script means that we're going to be privy to some choice lines in delivery, including one of the most infamous lines in anime history. But we'll get to that. A job well and bloody done, and all there's left for No-Go to do is humor his useless robot parole officer.
It is my duty to remind you that you are forbidden the consumption of alcohol. The drug results in impaired motor neuron response which will hinder your work.
Listen, if you're remotely interested in my welfare, then just shut up.
Your welfare is one of my primary programming directives.
Well, my welfare requires that I get away from you.
Though I am a comically officious robot, that does not mean I am incapable of feeling the human emotion that you call shame. So after that little regional pantomime, the anime feels it's quite necessary to establish the miles-high tower that appears to be tall enough to break through the goddamn stratosphere. So they spend the next minute and a half establishing the fuck out of this building. So what in the world are we spending so much time trying to establish? A guy getting the most generic, most non-threatening threat in the history of ever. What probably happened was that the creators intended for all these computers to display something along the lines of shine, which is a very rude and threatening way of saying go die. But because English is très chic in Japan, both at the time and today, they decided to needlessly translate this into English, hence the simple kill you. All I'm saying is that nothing can take the sting out of your threat or insult quite like grammatical ambiguity.
Wake up, you slovenly git.
Or misplaced British slang. What's so wrong with calling him lazy asshole? They didn't even have any lip flaps to time. Did they honestly believe that slovenly git was a harder-hitting insult? This is supposed to be from the country that uses the word cunt like they were handing out Halloween candy. Get with it, Nigels! And with it they get, as a new mission comes from up on high. Seems that skyscraper, and if you need to ask which one, go fuck yourself, has been cybernetically taken over with thousands of hostages inside. Now, why would anyone trust a bunch of criminals to save the day?
Now you got 23 hours and 16 minutes to go. If you ain't got a result by then, your head'll be filing a divorce against your body.
Threatening a ne'er-do-well to do the bidding of a shadowy, untrustworthy organization under threat of an explosive death. Where have I heard that before? That's right, Escape from New York.
What a fucking mess. A whole city out of control and all because some shit-for-brains computer got hijacked. What's that saying? To make a mistake is human, but to really fuck things up you need a computer. Ain't that right, shithead?
The building's computer and myself have been designed and built by humans. Therefore, we inherit their faults.
Well, after that sick burn, No-Go has to check in on the situation and gain intel from, that chain-smoking salvager from Ancient Ica?
Well, is there a way of tracking the break-in?
No, that's impossible. He's left a web of ice. That's intruder countermeasure electronics. Putting a trace on it would release the security demon of the 8th power.
That doesn't exactly sound groovy.
Not without a chainsaw hand, it ain't!
Ash is back in business.
Woo! Now that's how you put the boom in boomstick! What were we talking about again? Among the people that are trapped inside the building seems to be a woman that No-Go is sweet on. But that's a narrative dead end, so who gives a shit? It's comforting to know that despite 800 years of technological advancement, mankind is still dependent upon 4-foot air ducts and structurally superfluous hallways. You know, they have to be more careful when they build those. A man could get trapped in a time-wasting action sequence fairly easily. Luckily, No-Go arrives just in time to save a nebbish peon from a berserk platform, and then B9 here pulls an R2-D2 and saves an elevator full of people from a plummeting death. What's more, the attacks seem to be focusing on the peon.
So it's you this guy wants. You must have pissed him off pretty bad to get this kind of payback. So why don't you level with me and tell me what's going on?
Hey, fuck you! You know far too much already, you son of a bitch! You be sure to say hello to Jesus for me.
Because I'm gonna send you to heaven! Which doesn't sound threatening, I know, but you look like a good enough guy and, you know, hedge your bets, right? And you also know what the Bible says, you know, judge not that ye be not judged, and oh God, just shoot me right now. With the jig up, the peon confesses that his partner is most likely the one that's behind all this, as he not only has the know-how to take over the building, but also the motive, considering the peon was the one who tossed him into the abyss.
At last, I was rid of him. It seems inconceivable that he could have survived. But who else could it possibly be? It's nearly driven me insane. I feel as if his ghost is haunting me, trying to take some terrible revenge.
Like Zoink Scoob, I really fucked up this time! Cyberpunk B.A. Baracus here manages to hone in where the hack is coming from and alerts No-Go to its location. He goes after it, leaving the peon in the care of the third convict turned policeman. And yes, that is a man.
Well, never mind, he's in Corridor 63. You can join me if you feel like doing something useful.
The stars are not in alignment. It's a bad omen.
And you thought Mumbles from the Wuthering Continent was androgynous. This guy looks like if Annie Lennox was cosplaying as Tina Turner. Also, out of alignment with what, Annie Turner? They're stars! Any alignment therein is just coincidence and faulty human pattern recognition.
But that could just be orbital wobble.
Hey, in 2011, that is a timely reference. Or as timely as a 2007 movie can get. Unless...
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Nick? All right, fellas. Let's go! We must never speak of this again.
After plumbing the depths of the building's mainframe, No-Go comes across a holographic block hiding the location of the hack. How the hell did he know that this was a holographic projection? Probably for the same reason why the building's gyroscopic balancing machine was shut off for 10 minutes of screen time, and yet it never tilts further than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Who gives a shit? It's at this point in the anime that it goes into territory that many other titles did back in the day. Full-blown Tetsuo. No-Go! Oh, this looks rough. Not only does Cyber Tetsuo have electric wires at his disposal, he can accurately predict when No-Go will try to dodge them and preempt it. So what does No-Go do? Walk slowly up to him and stab him. I am so not kidding. That is exactly what happens. How the hell can he not hit this guy? His targeting system is so advanced it can predict where he's going to leap and when, but so primitive it can't hit a target that is slowly getting closer to him? Maggie Simpson has better aim than this heap. And with that, the day is saved. Time to wrap everything up in one condescending, dismissive sentence.
I mean, fuck knows Amachi was dead alright, but somehow his consciousness could control the computer he built while alive. Over the intervening 15 years, it must have been brewing up a plan to revenge itself on Kurakawa, or something like that. Christ, I don't know. Write what you like in the report.
Something tells me that that was how the writing pitch meeting for this episode went. So the episode ends. Sort of. There's an additional scene where No-Go is creeping around an eave of a building, presumably to kill someone to take the explosive collar off his neck, or so he says.
Like sort out a little dispute over sentencing and get rid of this damn collar. You can call me old-fashioned, but I still believe in the death sentence.
But we never find out who he is targeting, as we've never seen anyone who looks remotely like this. Nor will we ever know what happens because the episode just ends, with this entire sequence never to be brought up again. There were 3 total episodes of this OVA, with each episode focusing on each of the main characters, which means that unicorns came out of nowhere and saved them all for all we'll ever know. So might as well just stuff it and move on to the second episode, as there seems to be a robot going around and making criminals explode like Sid with combat Carls. All evidence is pointing to some kind of military involvement, and when Turner corners a guy who's trafficking human limbs, it all but cements their #1 suspect.
Shit!
I've heard of an arms dealer, but this is ridiculous. It's just not the same. No-Go figures that the military won't play nice with an investigation, so he decides to infiltrate their base.
I must ask you to desist.
Look, just fuck off, will you?
Fuck off. This is a phrase you frequently use erroneously. The colloquial word fuck, meaning to copulate, is inappropriate when applied to a machine without means of genetic reproduction, as in this instance.
Shut the fuck up, GoBot.
No-Go's infiltration hits a snag when the locks fall down in the waterway, trapping him in... Turner? Yeah, apparently he got his way through here somehow, completely independent of what No-Go was doing. This is all just a transparent device to keep the two preoccupied during the story, because, as I said, the individual episodes each focus on a different character. And this episode belongs to Baracus. Speaking of, he's been kicking back in his bitching motorhome when he's harassed by the military police over the whereabouts of a wanted female fugitive. Of course, Baracus is hiding her, who reveals that she has some stolen information that the MPs are looking for.
Oh, Goggle, you are the original computer genius.
Glad you think so. My God, it's top secret.
The fucking military is after your girlfriend, and you're surprised to find out that what she stole is top secret? What were you expecting? Plans for some kind of office surprise birthday party? The MPs catch wise to the ruse, and the two haul ass out of there. Meanwhile, their de facto boss, who I just figured out reminds me of Calypso from Twisted Metal, takes an inquiring call from some military honcho.
Hello. Long time no see.
Well, well, Staff Officer Mashiba, this is a surprise.
I did not just hear that. Play that again?
Well, well, Staff Officer Mashiba, this is a surprise.
You must recover all the energy immediately, Mega Man.
If you blow a take, just re-record it. It's not that difficult. Oh, here's the more depressing thought. Maybe they did re-record it, but the editor just didn't give two shits and used the blown take anyway. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night. Wait a minute, let me do that one again.
This decade? Actually, considering some of the lines these actors are forced to emote from, the fact that they can keep a straight face at all is a miracle.
I hope this machine of yours is better than your computer. Gogol broke into that. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't take this contraption of yours, smash it into 1,000 pieces, and stuff them up your ass.
Well, my goodness. There's something to look forward to. However, I suspect my machine will be stuffing the remains of Gogol up your sphincter.
I dare say, good sir, your attempts to insult my honor can and should be gathered into a sizable spheroid, then inserted willfully into your urethra. I said good day! And the parade of nonsense insults continues as Baracus and Elektra here continue to evade the MPs, including driving off a goddamned overpass. My favorite part here is that these dumbasses just follow them blindly like lemmings. Best and brightest, eh?
Red Eagle, take out the girl.
Shit. Eat this, dick splash.
How can a dick splash? Unless she meant something like cum stain, but then why wouldn't she just use that as an insult? And then, why am I thinking about this so hard? They lose the chopper, but Elektra reveals that this whole thing is a honeypot scheme to get Baracus to test out the military's new cyborg. Though I'm not sure why they wanted Baracus specifically, or why the military leaked the password to their mainframe just so they can entrap Elektra. Just seems absurdly risky for something so... stupid, I guess.
It just isn't the same. I really can't stand myself anymore. I can't believe it's turned out like this. If only I could turn the clock back. Then we could be the way we were.
The sentimental crap is thankfully interrupted by the cyborg, and the two try to ram it down with the trailer. But it Go-Go gadgets itself out of the way, and they careen into the water, where Baracus can share one last goodbye before Elektra drowns. It's not long after that the military pick up not only Baracus, but Turner and No-Go as well.
Cheer up, gentlemen. You're going to be flatmates together.
Well, I'd like to think about it. I hate being pressurized.
Pressured! You hate being pressured! If you're gonna deviate from the script for the sake of a pun, get the pun right! Luckily, Turner planted some explosives and manages to get the two of them out of danger. Meanwhile, Baracus has to babysit the cyborg for the testing purposes of the military. To be frank, the resulting fight scene is well animated and directed. The cat and mouse aspect between the two make for an involving and intense action scene. It ramps up beautifully to preposterous heights, with Baracus taking a motherfucking ship and grinding the cyborg against a tower, and then finally finishing it off using symbiote logic, by banging girders together to create a deafening high-frequency sound, and then giving it the mother of all shoryukens. But what about the creator, I hear you ask?
Stop!
Well, it looks like your man got a big hand out there.
It wasn't enough that you had yourself a badass villain death. Oh no, you tried to already it up with an action one-liner. This is how you do it, motherfuckers!
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Thank you, I am. How did it take me 160 episodes to make that joke? And with that, Calypso turns in the honcho and cancels the timer on Baracus' bomb collar. Yup, how's that for an ultimatum? Don't let this cyborg kill you in 48 hours, or I'll kill you! Which leads us to the third and final episode of the OVA. Strap yourselves in. Since this is the episode that focuses on Turner, of course it opens with a shower of sakura petals. Why wouldn't it? You know, outside of the fact that there are no cherry blossom trees anywhere to be seen. Never seems to stop it from happening in nearly every anime ever. Still, spoopy things are afoot, culminating in a supernatural attack on an unsuspecting jet clone.
The victim is Ichiro Idojima, age 42 years. Records show he has been arrested on 4 previous occasions on charges of illegal biogenetic engineering. He had 3 acquittals and 1 conviction.
This is the 3rd one with neck wounds like this. I have to conclude, it's a vampire.
Steady. The rest of the crew dismissed Turner's assumption that what's been targeting genetic engineers is a... vampire. But they're all on the case regardless.
Hey, Benton, don't crap your pants if you see a vampire out there.
Get lost. You wouldn't recognize a goddamn vampire if one jumped up and bit you on the end of your fucking dick.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the Vampire Line. In the era of the old Taku, the Vampire Line holds a sacred place. It's the perfect combination of strained profanity and out-of-left-field dialogue. There's no ramping up to it, there's no call for it, it just takes a dump on stage and demands that the audience deal with it. Even though there is way more to Cyber City than that line, that is what it's mostly known for. Fuck, if that line was in Titanic, nobody would even remember Kate Winslet's boobs. I mean, some would. I would. Turner's on the case, and he is leaving no stone unturned, from questioning Charlie Chan.
I met him about 5 years ago and he was trying to buy some unusual drugs, if you know what I mean.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
To Judd Crandall from Pet Sematary?
He came to me about a month ago, absolutely scared as hell. He wanted me to sell him a real big gun.
Yeah? That's a good story. A good walk. I'll take you up there sometime.
But his prying leads him into trouble with the local riffraff, but they don't prove to be much of a threat.
Hey, your friend seems to be losing his grip.
Well, that's one way to disarm a thug. I just feel so empty! Out of nowhere, Pink cosplaying as Captain EO appears to warn Turner to let the investigation go, or she'll be forced to kill him. Okay. But Turner will not be threatened, and his search leads him to a cryogenic space laboratory, where he discovers a pod with the same registration etched over one of the vampire's victims. It's empty, save for some petals, but this activates the lab's trap, releasing cyborg saber-toothed tigers with freaking lasers coming out of their mouths? How? Why? More like how and why the fuck not? Why isn't this the scene that Cyber City is known for? Last I checked, Abishi using garrote wire to decapitate cyborg saber-toothed tigers with freaking lasers coming out of their mouths is on the list of awesomeness! You see, this is what I miss in anime today. I mean, anime 5 years from now. Stupid scenes of ridiculous manly shit, even if the man doing it is Camper the Priscilla Queen of the Desert. That just makes it even better! You kids are deprived, and I feel sorry for you. Honestly, the anime kind of peaks here because where in the hell do you go from that? But with the episode only half over, it feels like it peaked way too early. But nevertheless, Turner dodges the saber-toothed tiger by falling down the elevator shaft back down to Earth. With a new lead in hand, the rest of the team discover that the Crypt Keeper lookalike here has been engineering an immortality virus that makes its host a telekinetic vampire. Because when you're that rich and that crazy, you do shit like that.
Okay, well when you find out what it is, give me a call.
Go around! Pass me on the left! I'd go further into the resulting game of chicken that occurs between these two, but it's over faster than I can even recap it, so fuck it. Turner comes to realize that the empty cryo chamber belongs to none other than the girl he happened upon at the beginning of the episode, and soon realizes that she's the vampiric guinea pig that's been going around killing people. Of course, she curses her fate, which garners Turner's sympathies, and he vows to kill Crypt Keeper before he can take the now-finished virus, even if it means knocking out his 2 cohorts out cold.
Benton, get away from that girl. She's dangerous.
Well, I've never been interested in nice girls.
Or any girls, for that matter. Also, it's interested. So Turner goes off script, and now Calypso is threatening Nogo with termination if he doesn't stop Turner.
Listen, Hasegawa, you can stuff it up your ass and swivel on it. I'm not finishing off Benton for you.
You don't have a choice, Sengaku. Either you do what I tell you or I'll take you out.
Why don't you take out Turner, Calypso? You've got a bomb collar around his neck, you idiot! But he seems he forgot this little fact, and now Turner has a chance to blast off into space and fight a vampire. You heard me.
Now take this. It's the only thing that'll kill the vampire. The researchers that Saionji fired and then killed were working on a vaccine to destroy his creation. They knew it was the only thing that might save them. I've put it inside that katana.
That's not a katana, that's a jite, an ancient symbol of Japanese policemen and guards. Not that you give a shit, but there you go. Wait, if that's why all those scientists were killed, then why is this girl so willing to kill Crypt Keeper? Seems she was doing his dirty work for him, so why the sudden face turn? Also, where in the world did Baracus get that vaccine in the first place? Well, the mother of all clusterfucks ensues, as not only has the Crypt Keeper taken the virus, but it also manages to make him young again. And give him the power of teleportation. Hacks! Fighting an immortal vampire can be a bit of a rope-a-dope situation, but luckily Turner lures him into the hangar bay and then blows him out of the fucking airlock! Woo! Yeah! Too bad it doesn't kill him. I know, right? What a waste of a great villain death.
Was that your best shot? I told you I'm immortal. There's nothing that can kill me. I'm going to live till the end of time and beyond forever.
Beyond forever? You should know that's impossible.
I mean, by the very definition of forever, there is nothing beyond it. Pedantry for life, motherfucker.
But Turner lands the killing blow and Crypt Keeper rots to a husk. All there's left to do is send the vampire girl on the Spock Express.
Just relax. Now you'll have the sweetest of dreams.
Yes, I'm going to dream of you.
Sweet dreams all made of me. Who are you to disagree? And with that, the series comes to an end. By fucking God, it has finally ended. You know, after sitting down and actually watching this entire anime, I can only come to one conclusion. Cyber City Oedo 808 is damned entertaining. It's stupid, it barely makes sense, and yes, it's schlocky, but heaven help me, I was smiling my ass off through the entire 2-hour run. Even the dub script, while cringy at points, had its moments here and there.
Why don't you buy me dinner?
Because I'm tired and pissed off and you're a cop and I'm a con and because it's raining and I forgot my umbrella and most of all I'm broke.
I'll take that as a yes then, and I'll see you at 8:30.
Sure, the acting is stilted because the clearly British actors were trying to affect American accents, and it also deviated plenty from the original source material, but considering what the anime is, those are not entirely bad things. If your anime involves vampire battles in space, cyborg corpses, and resurrected spirits inhabiting computer systems, can we really be angry at a script that just exacerbates the ridiculousness? At the very least, you can tell that the people behind the script tried to make something entertaining to an English-speaking ear, which is way more than I can say for half of the transliterated scripts I've had the displeasure of witnessing. Comparing the two extremes, I would rather side with the tryhards than the not trying at all. It's been a fantastic journey if you ask me, but everything comes to an end. It's time for us to get back to the present. It's fun to look back on the past, but the world only spins forward. It's good to be back where I belong. And best of all, no time paradoxes in sight, right, Gabe? I'm gonna fix that. Angel Sanctuary. Till next time.
Long live your Lord High Regent Sage! Long live Benetopia!